Guys, hello and welcome to Skycurser Daily number 41. Today we've got some good things in store. We're going to finish working on the last edits, hopefully, of the weapon consolidation. And that should get us to a really good spot. And as soon as we're finished with that, we're going to start taking a look at what it's going to take to script out the enemies for level 2, and if we're fortunate, we'll be able to start pulling in enemies and building out the timeline for level 2, so that'd be really good. So I don't want to waste too much time. I'd like to just go ahead and hop right into it. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the weapon consolidation. So we're going to pick up where we left off, and right now if I were to go ahead and compile the game, it would be broken, but I did leave myself some notes from last time, so I'm going to open those real quick. Just make sure I can remember exactly what was left. So I know we were working in scripts, weapons, and we were transferring data from script weapon attack to script weapon collision. And so let's go ahead and open both of those. Script weapon attack is right here. So we've commented a lot of things out already, what I believe we have already accounted for. And so I think we can pick up where my notes are, and my notes are telling me, let's see if I can pull them over here. Here we go. Transfer notes for script weapon attack from script weapon attack to script weapon collision. Update the death by in enemy 5 and possibly tank 1 EB to work correctly. Update the should connect with every object based on the katana blade, the griffin trail, EBM impact, and the orb impact that needs to be updated with every object. And I need to pull over the katana connection with the enemy 1 attack, the boss 1 attack orb, and the object necrostar hotspot, if that's not already transferred. So those are the three main things that I think I have to do in order to get this right. The three things that are left, basically. So let me just familiarize myself with this file real quick. This is the katana connecting with the enemy 1 attack, and that's what we were talking about as the third item. Enemy 5, death by needs to be updated correctly to work with katana or ghost missile. And possibly any of the other weapons now that it can connect with it. I need to also make sure the EBPM impact is included in there if it's not already. The should connect needs to occur on every single object, and also the hit counters that go along with should connect should be incremented properly. So I think if I do that, we'll be in real good shape here. Good, man. How's it going for you? Everything's going good. I've been real busy lately having to work and get some things in order for us, and that's been going well. But how's it going for you? Okay, I'm making sure that any exceptions that I have I gotta make sure this occurs correctly. I'm making sure that any objects that I have, like enemy objects that the weapon is colliding with, that if I've got a block of code, they're all together and not separated from each other, because that would be really hard to maintain. And I think then where we're at is if HP is less than 0, less than or equal to 0, first of all I need to check and see if the base enemy object has a death by property. Of course, it's in script object base enemy init. Looking for the enemy. There it is. Base enemy init. Do I have a death by for default? I don't think it would hurt at all to have a death by. So I think I'm going to add that here. I think by default I'll make the death by Vulcan. I'm going to put an enum right here. And I've got a couple of options here, Katana and Ghost Missile. So I got to make sure those are included, but I basically have to account for every single weapon here. Vulcan, Katana, Vulcan shotgun, Katana, Ghost Missile, Necro Star 1, Griffin, Griffin Trail, I think that's probably most likely it. Let's check. Katana, EBP, Griffin, Griffin Trail, Orb. I need to make sure Orb is one of them. Gaki Orb, to be more specific. And let's put a closing parentheses. And this is just going to let us know what our options are. And we know these two are safe options right now. Because those are the only two that are used throughout the script. And we may use those other ones at any other time. Right now, we're not using them for anything. How's the volume to sound ratio? Volume to music ratio? Alright, and we may end up good balance. Cool. Good balance. Thanks. I may end up just changing this so that the I think that this will be incorrect a little bit the way I have it. I'm surprised this is working, if it is at all working. But that's fine. That's fine. I think what I'll do is probably change this a little bit. If hit points is less than or equal to 0, this is for base vehicle. I want it for everything. hit points less than or equal to 0. Here we go. Then right here we can say hit.deathby equals argument 0. Let me see what object index returns, because that might be sufficient. Index number of the object. Okay, so I think in that case, whoops, cancel. In that case, what we'll do is just say object get name of argument 0. And that'll be a string. It'll be a string like object Skycurser Katana or Ghost Missile. These will actually be very specific names. So I have to go back and change what these can possibly be here. So let's go find these objects really quick, because we only have so many objects that will actually be legitimate. Actually, most of them are just sitting right here. Those are some of them. Let me go up here and see. Yeah, Katana, enemy 1 attack. So these are most of the weapon names that I'll need. But I have 1 or 2 more that I'm going to need from here. One of them is this guy, Object Mini Blast Bullet. That'll be the default. We'll put him there. And I believe we'll want to do the same thing for... Actually, let's check this out real quick. Let's go into Skycurser and see exactly which one of these he's shooting. He may only be even shooting this one. So if he's shooting this one, we might even just be able to get rid of this guy. So let's go here and here. I want to go to the step event. So here's our step event. Oh, closed it. Alright. I want to check for the shotgun. Keyboard check pressed. Alright, still looking for the shotgun. Here it is right here. Keyboard check pressed. Instance exists, then run this, which we're looking for the... Here it is. Animate, it's either one, it's one of these two probably. Shotgun determines step or script animate shotgun. Let's go look at that. Go here first, animate shotgun, and it looks like this is what's doing the creation, and it is a shotgun blast bullet. That's good to know, not a mini blast bullet. So that's one of the other objects that we can use, or that can basically be a part of this enumeration. Grab the name. Alright, Skycurser Katana. Ghost Missile is actually named... I did put that under weapons, I think. So it's named Object Enemy 1 Attack. Necro Star is an obstacle. That guy can be named Object Necro Star 1. Gaki Orb is named this guy. Griffin and Griffin Trail are the last two, and those are under specials. So Griffin Special and Griffin Trail. There we go. So I think that's about it, and I think that's a good place to leave that. I think what we need to do at that point is go over to the enemy 5 death and see if it was a death by katana. So let's go over to the enemy 5. This guy right here, I think he might have all of his code in this action. And so we have mini blast and shotgun. Those are going to be incorrect now. So first off, let's fix these because they're going to be the names of those weapons. And we had that set in object base enemy, script object base enemy, and net. So let's grab this guy. And I'm still looking for that enemy 5 destroy event. So look, here we go. The actual name of the object, or the other name. Let me get that. Shotgun blast bullet in this case. So that is doing what it needs to do, but I think there's 1 or 2 more things here, and I'm looking for them in this old script. Here, I think this is basically the item. So I think we need to go here and say if we got to find out which one of these is the enemy object, and that would actually be argument 1. So if arg1 is equal to, let's actually say, probably going to have to do object get name. Arg1 is equal to object enemy 5, I believe. Let's verify that. Object enemy 5. And this may be a little bit simpler than what I'm making it here. We may just run this one script right here. So let's go look at that script, EVPM impact. Probably here. Yep, under weapons, and it is. Okay, so we are looking, we're basically checking to see if the death by, okay, impactable enemy equals true. So we did modify this a little bit the other night, just to make it more helpful as we go through here. But this may be a little bit easier. Let me just continue looking at this old piece here. So the name of this is going to be a little bit weird because it's not necessarily going to apply to us in this situation unless we make sure that the argument 0 that's coming through here is the object enemy 1 attack. I guess, and we've already done that here. If the script object type is here and the script EVPM impact of the hit specifically evaluates true, then plus equals 1. And we're basically given a score here, but I'm wondering if we're giving scores on multiple locations here. So let me check this on the destroy event here. Do we do a +1 here to the score? Yep, we do. So we don't want to give 2 points for every single death. We only want to give 1 for the very specific instances, an extra 1 for the very specific instances where this could potentially occur. And I guess we were thinking that the anything that the enemy one attack hits can get the extra point. So any of these would be fine for it to score an extra point. But in the case of trying to connect with the katana blade, I think we're going to want to do something a little bit different here. So just let me think for 1 minute. I think this guy could probably handle mostly what this needs to do. And I'm thinking about making this a little bit more extensible so that we could also score an extra point for other objects. And we are passing an argument in here, and so I need to make sure that I update this so I can quickly see that at a glance. EBPM impact argument 0 equals object with which a weapon is colliding. And I'm thinking about passing another argument in here, which is which object is colliding with it. So, I mean, we've already got that data from up here. We're already passing in object weapon, so I'm thinking about just passing in object weapon into this one and slightly changing the name of this so that it's a little bit more weapon friendly, and I can extend it to multiple other weapons. And I think I'm going to do that. So let's say script score bonus, because that's really what this is trying to determine. So I know it's kind of a long name, but I only have to call it once or so, once or maybe twice somewhere in some other place. But I think this will probably suffice, and I won't have to write this very often. So I think the other thing I'll pass into here is argument 0. No, I don't even need to do that. If I'm setting the property death by here, I can access it right here. So I think I can remove this guy altogether. The check for the weapon type. This guy is irrelevant. I don't need to worry about just enemy 5 anymore. I need to worry about enemy 5 with the katana, but for any of the other weapons I might need to worry about something else. So I think this is what we'll do. We should be able to fix this with a simple if statement. If I might just make argument 0 a little bit more accessible. Okay, and let's just say var arg0 equals 0 if argument count is greater than 0, which should always be, then arg0 equals argument 1, or argument at the 0. So at that point we've basically written that in here, and I can change everything. Instead of writing out the entire argument 0, I can just keep this abbreviated basically, and change this guy to if arg0 dot. So this EBPM impact, I think I'm going to do away with at this point. Because there's no point in changing that to true. Score plus equals 1 there. And in this old script, sorry, trying to get to it. If it was here, we were doing an extra +1 there. So EBPM impact almost becomes pointless at this point. And increment score, our check for increment score here can go away. Or we could keep it and simply do a check for something else here. I think right now I'll remove it and bring it back if I need to. If arg0.deathby is equal to object mini blast bullet, else if arg0.deathby is equal to object katana, which that might not be the exact correct name for it. We'll check in a moment. I think it might be Skycurser katana. Yep, it is. Object Skycurser katana. Mini blast bullet is right here. That is correct. And this one should probably actually be object enemy 1 attack, and I'll verify that because that's what we already had. That's what we had already accounted for. Enemy weapons, yeah, enemy 1 attack, yep. So, and we'll just work in anything else into here. Else if arg0.deathby is equal to object Skycurser katana. In this case, it would be a much smaller switch case, and we'll basically just say if case is equal to objects enemy 5, impactable enemy equals true. And so in this way we can make sure that the correct data gets passed off so that we increment the score properly. I'm not going to really account for anything else at this point because nothing else really needs accounted for. I'm not going to worry about the Gaki orb right now because all we're dealing with here is whether or not we should increment the score a little bit extra based on using a specific weapon with specific enemies. So weapon score bonus and just going to go over what I got here, make sure this looks good in my mind. I think impact success at this point becomes null, and we can just return impactable enemy. And I think we might have it. Let's verify this. Script weapon score bonus. Take the hit, which it gets a death by passed in, and we determine, what weapon weapon is attacking or is finishing the enemy. And we determine if there should be a bonus. It's like I'm seeing an error here. Oh, well, this doesn't exist anymore, but this is null at this point. Let's see. Yep, we've taken care of enemy 5, so let's just go ahead and comment this guy out. So one at a time here. So a few more enemies here. So the should connect needs to be taken into consideration. I think that's going to be our next big piece. So we've just knocked out this and properly taken care of this. I can't remove the highlight? Come on. Dumb. Okay. It's alright. So next thing we got to do is update the should connect with every object, and we'll do that with every object by just adding it once over here as necessary. And it'll be based on which of these objects comes through to make sure that it's only connecting once with the enemy until we're allowed to increment the counter, or until we're allowed to let the enemy get hit by that object again. Shouldn't be too difficult. Let's see what we got here. Tank. Yeah, that's fine. The main things here are we are taking care of these, so we're incrementing these counters and they're getting reset to 0 whenever each of these objects gets destroyed. So if we're swinging the katana blade, we had to basically implement this because the katana blade was hitting one enemy every step as it was going through its animation until it finished its own animation, and that would basically decrement the enemy, way too many hit points on just one swing of the katana blade. So we had to do this this kind of trick where we basically determine if the katana blade, once it has been swung, has hit the enemy once or not, while the katana blade swipe still exists. When it stops existing, then it resets the katana hit counter for that object. Once the katana hit counter is reset, then it can hit again with the katana blade and damage the enemy. But in that way, we're limiting the hit for the katana blade to just once per swipe, and similar things with the special or the the Griffin special trail. We had to do some things like that as well. So everything really should adhere to this. And we will say, I think we're going to say false instead of true. So we're going to write this up here. It'll be right inside of hit. And we'll do if, we'll set should connect. We're actually going to set it to false and make it false by default, and then set it to true. A little bit different than what I have over here, but I think it's the better way to do it. Don't want it to be too greedy, so we force it to be as not greedy as possible. Okay, so we can then say if just think for a minute. Should we do each of these checks? I think we'll do a script here. A little bit. One degree. 68. Script should connect, and we'll write that script here in a minute, and we'll pass in argument 0 or arg0, right? Because that's argument 0. Then we will go ahead and let everything get attacked. Okay, good. So, but we need to write this script. And this script will do all of this work right here. It'll check, which of these special weapons that we need to take into consideration. It'll do the check, and then we'll also write one more script that will do the incrementing depending on what the argument is that comes through here. But in this way, we consolidate everything and don't rewrite tons and tons of code for every single object and for every single weapon potential. At least we don't do it in this script. Okay, so let's write this. Copy this guy and come over here to the scripts table, or the scripts type, and create a new script. We'll go ahead and put this inside of here, inside of the weapons script group, and then I think what I'll do is call this weapon should connect. Weapon should connect. Okay. Script weapon should connect. And then we run our code here. What else do I need here? Do I need to pass in a different argument? Yeah, I might need to pass in the hit. So we'll pass in one more thing here, which would be the hit. So we're gonna stub out our code here. Script weapon should connect, and we go argument 0 equals weapon, say object weapon. Argument 1 equals object with instance of object with which the weapon is colliding, and we'll go ahead and do our stub out our variables. arg0 equals 0, var arg1 equals 0, if argument count greater than 0, arg0 equals argument at the 0, same for argument 1. Okay, now we've got our arguments that we need, and we can say, we can set a default should connect. Like we said, should connect equals false, and we'll remove it from here because we're taking care of it here. Should connect equals false, and we will return should connect. And right here we should go We'll write our code similar to what we had. Just going to copy this guy right here and going to invert some things because they're not exactly the way I want them. Script object type of argument 0.id is equal to Skycurser Katana, which is fine, and hit Katana hit counter. We'll change this to arg1, and we'll change this guy to arg0, right? arg0. Dot Katana hit counter is equal to 0, then should connect equals true. We can say less than or equal to. Doesn't matter. Should connect equals true. So we're going to return true here. And we'll do the same check for the other objects that we have to check for. So kind of mirror what we did up here. And R1, Griffin hit counter, perfect. Change this to less than or equal to. Got any game ideas? Are you asking? Plox P10X? Is that what you're saying? Do you have any game ideas, DeBeasley bro? Alright. Object Griffin Special. Let's look at these objects that we need to take into consideration here. I can mainly think of 3 weapons at the moment. Griffin Special Trail, and the object Skycurser Katana. It's actually Griffin Trail. So we got to do this with one more of these. And that is the Griffin Trail. And I gotta check what that hit counter is called. That aren't actually already made. Do you have some games finished, DeBeasley? If you do, you should share them with us and let us know what they are. And if they're out there, post a link to them. All right. Yeah, speaking of game ideas for us, I've been trying to brainstorm some game ideas. Chris and I have some good ideas that we'd like to do after this one. And I'm also trying to think of some game ideas that I can do in a very short period of time, kind of like the Loot 'em Dare challenge, or the Loot 'em Dare, how they do their games in 48 hours. I'm just trying to think of some games that I can put together in that time frame. You know, of course, after we're finished with this, and we're a little bit of ways out here, so I'm just trying to stay focused, but I would love to have, like, I don't know, 5 to 10 ideas that I could just stub out in a weekend and have like a decent working example, and just throw all that content on YouTube. I'd love that. Okay. And are you making a PC game next time? I'd like to make a game that can export to lots of different platforms, including smartphone. And I don't think our next one will be a PC game. Like our next group game, I don't think it'll be a PC game. So often, Object Griffin Trail. Yeah, but I would love to, hopefully I can be on tomorrow, but if I'm not, next time I'm here, I'd love to, see what you've already got, man. Okay. Skycurser Katana, Griffin Special, Griffin Trail. Let me see. I've got a couple of others in here. Let me just make sure that this is correct. Special. No, I don't think it will be another one. At least initially. We may come up with some after a bit, but I don't think our next one will be arcade. Katana, yep, I only see those, but I need to check this one right here, which I was going to check. Yeah, cool, man. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Okay. Where am I gonna find this? I know that this will probably be in the tank. Let's check. Actually, let's check and see what happens when this guy gets destroyed. because this will probably be the telltale. And here it is, trail hit counter. That's what we need to check. Ooh, Necrostar would be another one that we need to take into account. Because the Necrostar, well, maybe not, actually, maybe not. But for now, let's take this guy. And drop him there. And I think we're in good shape all around there. We have this doing exactly what we need it to. So this will determine if a hit should occur. However, we need to make sure we don't block ourselves from any other weapons getting through this as I'm thinking about it here, because that would be bad. So let's go look at that one more time. Here it is. Let me bring this guy up here if I can. Come on, Game Maker, draw that on screen for me. Alright. I'll try to get that here in a second. There. Good grief. Jackal Gamer, what's up, man? A lot of good games out there, but not that many really good ones. Laugh out loud. Sweet, so something I can get my hands on easier. True dat. Idea doesn't have to be completely brand new, at least not in my mind. Jackal Gamer, what's up, man? Okay, so the other thing that we need to do is make sure that all other weapons make it through here. We'll just say else should connect equals true, and I think that would handle everything. Yeah, what's your game called, man? Love to see it. Okay, so I think we got that in play here. We've got the weapon should connect check. Now the last thing that we have to do is increment the counters depending on what the weapon is, and that will be done right inside here as well. So we'll just go script weapon counter increment. I think we'll pass the same two things in, argument 0 hit. As I'm thinking about it, we may be able to just do this in the same exact one. Kid Dungeoneer, I like it. Influences Metroid, Castlevania. Yes, man, I remember us talking about this a while ago. I really want to see this. Melee exploration type game. One of the games I just finished is a crossbreed of Titan Souls and ROTMG. Nice. Okay, so I'm looking for script weapon should connect here, and I did want to bring this down one more. I'm thinking about incrementing right here. So why don't we just do that? arg1.katana hit counter plus plus, and just do the same thing for these other ones so that we don't have to do the increment. anywhere else. I mean, this is exactly what I'd be writing somewhere else. All this almost identical. So I'm going to remove that script call here in just a second. Got that. Remove this guy. Now we're in good spot. Alright, now I got to see where we're at here. Wish I could just pull this right here, but I can't. Castlevania Contra crossover replays Dracula's cousin. Ha! Surfer Commando Vampire, dude. How many levels planned for Skycurser? Fight all the old school type monsters. Frankenstein, werewolf, and you kill them, you get their powers. Chris, how many levels are planned for Skycurser? That's a good question for you, man. So hit 5 does not equal no one. We've taken this into account. We've taken this into account. We've already got all this, got this, got this. Okay, so if we haven't taken care of this guy, which I think we already have, then we need to. Let's see. So yeah, what are we working with? We're working with the tank. We're doing the carrier eyeball flash here. We're doing the flash here if... I don't think we really need to make it flash if the thing's got less than 0 hit points. If the last thing that hit it was one of these weapons that is allowed to hit it. And we're already doing that check, right? Yeah, we're doing the bonus check here. Bonus score check. All right. So I think we can comment this guy out safely. Boom. That's what I'm talking about. And I think we might already have this guy. We've already got this taken into account. We took that into account with the first thing that we did today. Let's go down here and look at this. Yeah, we've got this guy taken care of. Yep. This guy's gone. And we got to look at this Necro Star here, which I think we've got this partially taken care of, at the very least partially taken care of. We've got a should connect happening now. We don't need to worry about that anymore. We just wrote that in. Let me see. Let me read what you guys got here. To Beastly Bro, thinking about 6 or so levels, short and sweet. I'm debating if I want to add some sort of magic to my game. I know you will have special skills, but not sure if I want magic though. Aiming for replay value with scoring, etc. Meat mode OP, yeah boy. Yeah, meat mode will add a lot of replay value. It will eventually be randomized with boss encounters and such, yep. Yes. So, if you're just joining us, my name's Brad. If I'm in chat as Skycurser Dev. That's me. And Chris is one of the other indie devs on this project. He's in chat as Skycurser, and he's carrying on some conversation here. Chris is our art director and our sound engineer for this game. So, yeah, it's going good. All right. I think we might already have most of this taken care of here. Arc 0. Ooh, that would be bad to do right here for Arc 0. Let me see. Gonna remove that from there because I don't. if let me read this for a second. Hit hotspot, hit.hp. Yep. Hotspot flashing is true. Necrostar blood, good. Hit.hp less than 0, then reverse it and set it in reverse motion. I'm doing the instance destroy with everything down here. Do not do the destroy object griffin special. So I need to make sure if, let's do this similar check. Script object type argument 0 dot ID. I need to look at that script. Haven't looked at it for a while. I'm pretty sure it just returns me a string or checks a particular string that I pass in versus what the argument 0 is, or maybe the object get name of argument 0, probably under helpers, and then returns true or false. Let's see. Yeah, it gets the name of the object index. Yeah. So this will be a string check, and I need to pass in a string. And I think I can just pass in literally argument 0 instead of .id. And the other thing I want to pass in here is object griffin special. If not, and not, script object type argument 0 object griffin trail, then we can delete everything. Everything else literally can be deleted. Yeah, because we want the special and the trail to remain. So we just got to make sure that that's not the argument 0 that's getting passed through here. Okay, Necrostar. Let's continue looking at this. Again, I think I have most of it already. We've got the should connect going already. We've got the incrementing going where necessary. Image index. I think I've got most of that already. Let me check. Yep, got those image index checks. Reverse everything. Collision impact, yes. What do we have here? We've got a bullet impact and a metal sound if the katana is what's hitting it. Technically it could be anything that's hitting it really should do that sound. So I think we may, let's see. I think we might have already passed sound impact metal into there. I'm not going to worry about that at this point. I think I'm going to comment this guy out because I think we've taken it into consideration. And we've got Necrostar 2 here. Is there anything special about Necrostar 2? Nothing, 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 nothing. Nope. That should be taken care of. I've already got that, all that code in here. This one may be a little bit tricky. Let's look and see. Did you see the HUD stuff I sent you by chance, Brad? Had a bunch of different options. Yes, I saw the one that you sent via mobile. It looks pretty badass. I really like it. I like what you're doing, especially with the health bars and the HUD display. I think that is a really good solution for what we're doing. I haven't gotten a chance to see any of the other options though, so I'll take a look at those here in a little bit. Just trying to power through this piece of it. Should connects are all right here. Here's one that may need to be taken care of. These are already taken into consideration. This guy right here, though, let me think about this. Boss impact equals true. Yeah. Yeah, give me a sec. Okay, guys, give me 1 second here. I'm going to take literally a 2-minute break, and I will be right back. All right, thanks guys. Back. All right, so I'm right here. I'm basically going to have to take care of this guy right here. Make sure he gets converted over here. I'm going to check and see if I've got the boss one taken into account up to this point. Let me just review here for a minute. And I do. Here we go. So I think what we got to do here is just convert this guy over to here. I think this is good. If the object type of argument 0 I'm going to see if I've got this anywhere else. I think I just want to remove that ID. Yeah, okay, good. In this particular script, I don't have argument 0.id anywhere. Hit boss 1. Okay, I need to say hit.flashing equals true. And argument 0, I just got to make sure argument 0 is the argument 0 is the weapon. So we would say arg0.bossImpact. And I got to make sure that that comes default with every single weapon. So we got to make sure that that is converted properly over here. And that would be on object-based weapon. And I'm sure there's a script for that. So looking for that script, base weapon init. Let's look. I mean, I'm thinking that this was mainly for the katana, so I want to see if katana has a boss impact by default. Let's do a search for that. Okay, so it was mainly meant for the boss attack orb. And it was right there, and then here's the other place that it was used. Nope. Try again. So I got to see the purpose of this here. I'm trying to understand it. Okay, so once boss impact is equal to true, it can get destroyed. That's what the purpose of that is. It's sitting on there, so I think the main thing is I'll check and make sure that object boss 1 attack orb. And I'm already doing that here. And I need to change this to arg0. And make sure argument doesn't exist anywhere in the script, and it doesn't. Good. Alright, so we've already got that taken care of. That taking care of itself. Get out of here, katana. Okay, good there, get out of here. Just trying to clean up some windows here. Okay, what else do we need to take into consideration here? So we've already got that guy. All these guys are taken care of. Boss 1.invulnerable. Aha, here we go. Hit counter. We've already taken some of this into consideration, it looks like. So let's start right here. And pull it over. Oops. Okay, so we're outside of that guy. I think we can just start right here with this one. And change this to arg0. Hit.invulnerable. arg0. Huh. I think I had that. I've got 2 checks for Object Griffin Special. I think the second one was supposed to be a check for Griffin Trail. So that's updated. And I think Weapon Impact is the appropriate name here. But this, let's check this script real quick. See, I'm seeing that we may need to consolidate this guy into this piece right here. So let's check that script. Object is vulnerable. Boss 1. So we're already doing some of this. I think the main thing is we just got to make sure that a Boolean to allow vulnerability check. Allow vulnerability check on hit points, but not on flash for boss mainly. So a Boolean. So we've already got most of this check, this vulnerability check in place. I think what we can do here is say, let's take this guy down here. So we do this after the boss check. And then we can var is boss equals false. Do this up here. Var is boss equals false. Is boss equals true. And then we'll just say is boss I'm also seeing here that if this is set to true, then he will not be vulnerable. It's a little confusing how that works, but I think we need to take I'm going to see if this is used anywhere else first before I modify it. No, it's not. I guess it is. Script enemy flash boolean. Man, I wrote these quick. And I gotta read them to remember exactly what they do. Object with which the weapon is colliding should only be available for the boss. Hit counter. So the hit counter is argument 1. And oh cool, so the okay, so every 10 hits has already been accounted for the boss. The only thing that we have to take into consideration here is this is going to be true by default. And when it's the boss, we want it to be false periodically. We may have to separate this out for the boss. How are we even damaging the boss right now? That's what I'm wondering. I should be switching arg0 here, I'm noticing. Arg0, not argument 0. And so yeah, the tank and the tank drop are not vulnerable. The boss can be vulnerable. Here we go. Is special equals false. And we'll say is is special equals true. I think we just pass in right here is special. So when it is true, it'll be true by default, and then it'll be false. Can I do that a little bit cleaner using positives instead of negatives here? Is special if the object type is not Griffin special, I mean, this is kind of hard the way I have to do it. Is special true, so it'll be true by default, which will keep it from firing, or keep it from doing damage, and then it'll be false, which will allow it to damage. If the script, or if argument 0 is not this, and argument 0 is not this, otherwise it's true. Can damage. I think I'm gonna have to change the way this works, because this is just too confusing the way you have to think through it. So we'll say default is false. So make this false, and is vulnerable equals false. Invulnerable equals true. I'm just going around and around in my head on this one. So close here. So he'll get set invulnerable to true on his own. think man, I'm thinking that might be enough. Why can't we just leave it at that? I think that's probably good. So I don't think all those extra checks are necessary, including this. I think I can go ahead and do my check right here. If Griffin special. Let's do script object type arg1 and object boss1, right? And this guy or this guy. Change this to here, this to there. This changes to 50. And what's the check here? Not sure what I had there. I don't think that's necessary. If it was there. Argument 1. Boss. And this whole thing. Boss and special, otherwise any other enemy, or boss and not special. I mean, that should cover it. That should take care of that. And I'm going to comment this out here in a minute. I think I've got all this other stuff taken care of. Boss1.hp, do I have this taken care of? If HP is greater than 0 and the orb is the attack weapon, then we have to do create an orb impact, otherwise it's a regular impact. I think we have to do this check down here with the collision impact. Yeah. And let's just go make sure our script weapon collision passes everything correctly. Bosses, boss weapons, obstacles. Generate data structure weapon. Here we go. Boss, boss, boss. So we need to pass a few more things here. And this one's going to be the orb impact. So I got to figure out what the order is here that I have to pass them off. Ooh, DSV8. Let me see this real quick. Object get name, object enemy 5, hit point less than or equal to 0. I think this might be a duplicate section for this right here, and so therefore I think I'm going to remove it. That should take care of that. For now, let's just verify. And I think it may be unnecessary here to pass, but we'll go ahead and let it pass through for a moment. I think that's really the only place that it's being used. But anyway, impact effect 2. So DSV7 needs to be set here. And I need to pass in the X and Y position. Let's go look at script collision impact with sound. Zero, 1, 2, X position, Y position, impact object, impact sound. Here we go. If argument 8 exists, use that or that. Okay, that's good. And then argument 7 is the sound, and we may not have a sound. That's fine. The X position and the Y position are 5 and 6. I'm surprised argument 2 and 3 are not used. Ooh, that's not good. So I'm seeing here that argument 2 and 3 are not getting used where they should be. And I believe that's supposed to be 5 and 6, but I believe this is supposed to be 2 and 3. We do have 10 and 11 here though. Let me look at this. Oh, okay. No. That's. I think that's just the. I think that's just the music that's playing. Okay, so I think all I got to do here is pass in oh, that's from that right there. That search. That's when you search on Game Maker and can't find what you're looking for. So I guess I'm passing 10 and 11 here, right? ESV9. Oh, coming in as argument 2 and 3, which are the object's weapon, X and Y position. So those are always set by default. Good, good, good. Okay, so back to boss here. Boss 1. We are looking to make sure that this is correct. I think we just do some things like this, right? So if script object type should be arg0. In this case, it's actually going to be, yeah, it'll be arg0. Argument 0 is object boss 1 attack orb else. And we say object orb impact, and I think I've got this a little bit incorrect, what I've got here. So I think we need to pass in DSV7. And we can leave this guy alone as DSV3. Take him up here. So he'll come in, he'll be the impact object, everything else will get passed correctly. And I think that takes care of that guy. Everything else will be final choice. Good. Okay. And then if boss dies, then make sure you destroy these other things, which I think should probably exist in a place more like the boss's destroy event. So let's go look there instead. So boss 1 attack is already taken into consideration here. Boss 1 attack orb is already taken into consideration, I'm seeing, and is object enemy 2. Yes, it's right there. So those are unnecessary altogether. So back to our script. Boss. I think that's it for that guy. Yep. So bye-bye there. this last guy here, Boss 1 tank is already taken into consideration. Boss 1 tank drop should be taken into consideration already. And now all we got to do is our last piece here that we've been talking about that has to do with all these katana items here. And we're talking about reversing the katana, any of these particular weapons when the katana hits correctly, or even the necro star if the necro star is hit correctly. So in this case, we've got to handle enemy 1 attack, enemy 1 attack orb, and the necro star hotspot. And I believe this is already taken care of. So we'll just go ahead and close that guy. And the necro star hotspot is right there, so we've already got that guy. So we got to transfer these last two pieces here, and we should have all the weapons transferred. So let's do that. All right. So if the weapon is katana and the hit is an enemy 1 attack, reduce the hit points, change the default flight, make it flash, make the katana flash equal to true, make the impact generated equal to true, and create an instance of the katana deflection. And at that point, I think it's all going to be passed back through the script correctly. So let's try this. Do we already have enemy 1 attack taken into consideration over here? Got enemy 1. Oh, this guy needs to be removed. Perfect. Okay, so we'll start right here. So the decrement of the hit points is already going to occur. Let's go down here and say if script object type argument 0 is equal to object Skycurser katana and let's look for the enemy first. Script object type of the argument 1 is equal to object enemy 1 attack perfect. Okay, then we change hit.default flight equal to false. We say is hit.flashing already going to be true? Yes, it is. So we don't touch that, but we do go ahead and say katana flashing. Does the katana have a variable called katana flashing. Yes. So we say arg0 katana flashing equals true. And if hit.impact generated is equal to false, hit.impact generated equals true, and let's go ahead and do an instance create. Let's call this guy with no extra argument. So in this case, we will say hit.x, hit.y, and we will pass in here object katana deflection, and we will pass in here sound katana deflection. That should take care of that. And let me make sure the impact object is expecting an object and not a string. I'm just going to remove this. Okay. Boom. Got that guy transferred. And we gotta do the same thing for this last one down here. So close, so close. Okay, I think I'll consolidate this into one place. So basically I'll make this guy the top level, arg0 object Skycurser katana. And gotta put one more right here. Now we tab over one. We're all set there, and then we do an else if script object type arg1 is equal to object boss1 attack orb. Then we do a default flight equal to false. That's true on both of these guys. It's already going to be flashing. Katana slashing is going to be true as well. And impacts generated. Is also it's all basically going to be the exact same for both. So why don't we put these guys back inside and just do an OR. I think this should handle it. Copy, paste, boom, take this guy out. If we're talking about enemy attack or boss one attack orb, then do these things, and it's the same for both. Oh, I think that's it. Now, to pass everything through here correctly, we're going to have to make sure we do this right. Whew. So we probably want to just pull this guy over. So that guy's gone.